Hey everyone, this is Black Woman 7 here. Today we'll be going over our PFA week. Um, I believe this is week 8, so the infamous week 8 week, where we battle our rivals. So this season, I'm not battling Slick anymore, but instead I'm battling Raker. Don't worry, we'll battle Slick next battle week. So that's a slight spoiler, so keep that in mind. Anyways, we're battling Raker, and like I said, mentioned like the other game. His team is Raker's team is pretty strong for the season. He has Charizard Y, Clefable, Gliscor, Rotom, Mew, and Mamoswine. Other Pokemon he could have had were the Cobalion, Meltank, Bulligant, and Gudra. There's Scyther, but I don't think he brings it here, so I kind of ruled that out. And Lilligant was kind of like a weird choice. He brought what if he wanted to bring a full Sun mode team. I kind of figured this was going to be the team that he brings. So like something like with double ground with something to help against like Gallade. So and Char Y because Char Y is always a pain in the ass to switch into. Honestly, I think Char Y is probably one of the best. It's probably an underrated like Draftmon if you ask me. It's like it hits super hard with its fire moves. It's just that you have to protect it very hard with defog. Thankfully, Raker has 3 defoggers right there, so and rockers. So Um, but good thing we brought some of our rocks of our own. So this week we have Life Orb Coco with Hippart Ice, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, and Thunderbolt. Pretty obvious. Uh, I pretty much want to. It's kind of a wall breaker set and also cleaner set, so I kind of don't want to rely on Coco too much. So kind of the end game on. Scizor is actually Iron Plate this week instead of the usual berry I usually carry with Akka or like maybe like leftovers. Or even Agua, but like usually I have one of the 3, but this time I'm actually running an offensive item this time because it's pretty important, which I'll explain. Uh, maybe or maybe not. I have to protect Suicune with Calm Mind and Surf because most of these Pokemon don't give a shit about being Skull Burned, and I kind of don't want to get Skull Burned on the Mew because that could ruin my only mode of recovery. So yeah. Plus, Surf does more damage, so that's always nice. Comp is actually SD this week with Rocks, EQ, and Dragonclaw. Pretty self-explained with Lunberry. Kind of a classic Garchomp set, if you ask me. Um, even though like it's kind of self-explained, but like there's like 3 possible status options he has. So I was heavily debating Garchomp's item the most here, but I just felt classic Lunberry is pretty fine here, pretty cool. And I have Spadef from Moltres because nothing really switches into Char Y except for Moltres. So yeah. And Gallade is pretty much SD. So yeah, I brought 3 SD Pokemon against a possible like defensive Mew, with Wisp, defensive Rotom, Gliscor, and a Clefable. Yeah, I know. I know. We'll just get right into the game. Because I mean this is one of those weeks where I just kinda like was like F it because honestly everything on Raker's team was just is scary as hell to pray for, so I just went all in with a semi-offensive team. So here I'm just gonna go with Garchomp. His lead outs with Clefable, and right off the bat, Garchomp's up against Clefable, and I'm like, did I just risk this thing being Ice Beam or just go for rocks right now? And going for rocks isn't that bad now that I think about it, because I kind of want to gain as much offensive momentum as possible. So and I just go for rocks, and he goes for his rocks. So already that's one of them set down on Clefable. So we know this thing has a recovery option likely, and stealth rocks. So and then blast most likely, unless it's a very weird cliff set. That's just me guessing what it is. So here I switch the hell out and go into Moltres because honestly, if I have no defog, there's no. Okay, I have no defog because he's likely gonna have defog. So at this point, I'm like, yeah. He actually takes advantage of this as I go for Roost, and here he actually goes for the Volt Switch as I stay in because I am actually very Spadef on this Moltres, as I'm able to go for land a Toxic on this Mew, and it's gonna be very helpful dealing with this guy. So be able to wear this down and pretty much remove its leftovers. He has actually Calm Mind, so this is one of the sets I kind of feared he'd be, and unfortunately, I kind of have to like just let Moltres go, just do as much chip damage as possible for this Mew. Thankfully, we live, so that way like he takes more damage from Toxic. So here I go to Gallade, and at this point I just go for knockoff, and he kind of knows that he has to like take this hit, and because honestly none of his Pokemon want to take a knockoff, especially like oof, sorry about that. Especially because like everything kind of needs its item. You know, Gliscor needs Toxic. Char Y doesn't want to get switched into, and it could just die to like a possible psychic move I have. Clefable, you know, it's Clefable, but it doesn't want to lose leftovers at all. Rotom and Mamoswine don't want to lose their like leftovers or life orb or any offensive item respectively. So if they have it, also switching to Mamoswine just like right now is like pretty dumb. So I think it was pretty fine for him to like to sack Mew. Now him taking Rockstar implies that he is either Q-Charm or obviously unaware. So now I'm like thinking to myself, okay, this changes a lot because this like unaware Clefable is actually one of the few Pokemon that can actually beat my team, but fortunately we do have kind of responses, so we're gonna have to just hit it with everything we have. And I literally mean it because as you'll see, I just go hard Scizor and I'm like, okay, I gotta get rid of this thing. Hopefully he doesn't have a fire move, you know. He does have leftovers. And I'm like, alright, that's fine. Here he goes into Rotom as I go for the U-turn, pivot out and go into my Gallade. So it's nice. He goes to Volt Switch, and already I'm like thinking this is a Scarf Rotom. However, thanks to Psycho Cut as I have, this thing crits Clefable on the switch hit. So basically we just got rid of Clefable for free. As I pretty much get lucky that turn, I'm not gonna lie. But still, I think that would have been a 2-shot, depending on whether or not he had Wish, Protect, and like Moonblast. That might be a weird set, but that's still a legitimate option. So, even then, I think I still would have like 2-shot it. So here, he just goes into Gliscor as he gets badly poisoned. Here I just go for SD as he goes for the EQ. And honestly, I'm kind of debating on what to go for here because I'm kind of like I'm kind of like trying to think whether he stays in or not or goes hard to Rotom or like if I have like Ice Punch and whatnot. So, and I'm really debating on this whether to like catch the Rotom or hit him with the Ice Punch or whatever. So, unfortunately, I get the wrong target, but I am able to like do a crap ton to this Gliscor. So thankfully, I'm able to like deal with this guy. So I'm gonna go into Scizor again, and I make a very, 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 very weird play that pretty much loses me momentum for this game. And honestly, I just go for a Roost. We both go for Roost, but the thing is, this Gliscor, as you're about to see, it has to taunt, as you'll see. It taunts me, and I can't SD up. And now, I can't do anything here. So, at this point, I kind of have to go for U-turn. So, because I obviously don't want to get toxic with Garchomp just yet, you know. Because I don't want to lose the Lumberry, to be frank, if he does have toxic. So, depending on, this could also be like a EQ taunt, like, you know, defog as well. So here I just go for SD as he goes for the toxic. However, my Lumberry just eats that up, or takes the poison damage. So now I could 2-shot this. I could pretty much OHKO whatever he wants, like 2-shot his entire team, really. So now I have another boosted Pokemon ready to go, and he could play around with this. And I just like at this point now, it's just trying to predict him or not. So Obviously, like I correctly and get the Gliscor. So these 50/50s, man. Like man, this is already like one of those weird games as I mentioned. So here he goes to Mamoswine, and of course, this is already like looking pretty bad for me, honestly, because he has a Scarf Rotom with a substantial amount of HP, almost similar to like a Drub. It's the Fable, while weakened, is still bad. It's well not bad, but it's still useful if he gets the right recovery. So still have to, but it's like still like a threat. Now it just and Charizard, of course, is always annoying. But here's the thing: I have to be very concerned that Rotom can also defog. Have defog, Scarf defog. Um, so at this point, I'm pretty much like, yeah, I'm pretty much screwed with the Chomp either way. So, like at this point, I'm just hoping that he is Life Orb indeed and just knocks me out, and he just goes hard, like Rotom into like basically the idea is like it's gonna be another 50/50 the way I see it. So, I decide, you know what, I have to attack what's in front of me, and he's probably gonna go for Ice Shard. So, yeah. Turns out he's Scarfed, and he misses the Icicle Crash, which is super huge and unfortunate on his end because had he knocked me out, I would have obviously lost Chomp and obviously a way to deal with his Charizard, even though like a switch in for Charizard, so. But yeah, this is pretty bad because that means I just get a Dragon Claw. As obviously I just wanted to get rid of the Mamoswine, so yeah. I just clicked Dragon Claw just to get rid of it in case he goes for Rotom, so or CharY. At this point, the game is just, man, this game is already like, I honestly have been getting very lucky here. Um, so at this point, like even with the boosted Chomp, like this thing's just gonna go kill this Rotom because we do have a lot of somewhat considerable bulk to take a Hydro Pump. So and we do die, but this pretty much means that Coco could just clean up because nothing wants to take a Life Orb Thunderbolt. So like we pretty much like win this game at this point. He goes sets up the drop, but at this point it doesn't really matter. So I just knock out the RY, and the Clefable is already like very very low. So yeah, I just go for the Thunderbolt, and yeah, that's GG. So even though I don't know, like I didn't say GG in the chat, so to be honest, I'll admit I think the two things that really messed up Breaker for this game were the honestly, I'll admit I did make some plays here and there, but the two things that really messed him up and just helped me more were the combination of one, me critting him with the Clefable with Psycho Cut. Now Psycho Cut, I had that just to like because I just did not know how the hell I'm gonna break Gliscors, and I just felt like and Clefable, especially if it brought like Cosmic Power. So I decided, you know what, I might as well just bring Psycho Cut because if I crit, I crit, and I didn't want to miss the targets, key important targets like Chart Y. So it was unfortunate that that occurred, but even then, I think it really depends on the set because I think that would have done maybe like I don't know, like let me see. Psycho Cut did 66. No, Psycho Cut. Let me see. It takes 61% to Clefable, so maybe that also implies that he's not like super like Spadef, but he also took damage from like taking rocks earlier. Let me just I never do this, but okay, so he goes for the Volt Switch, and goes to 82%. Yeah, I think I probably two-shot him because like 1.5, like that's like a 40. But okay, I don't know. That's a roll, maybe. That's maybe a roll. He barely lives. But even then, I don't know. Like so. I don't know, but so still, that's the game for week 8. Um, but yeah, so oh yeah, one last thing I want to explain. The Mamoswine miss. Like even if he did miss his ice crash, I still had Suicune with sub protect in the back, and from there it's just a matter of me, going for the sub, pretty much going for the protect onto it depends on who he switches in. Like, he's obviously has to switch out Mamoswine because if he doesn't, then Suicune just sets up on him like completely, unless I get flinched, of course. But divine justice. So, uh, but obviously Suicune just sets up on Mamoswine. That's locking them in ice mode, and obviously Mamoswine's scarfed, and Suicune can if he gives me a +1 without going to Rotom or even Clefable or Char Y, um, then I just probably win the game from there. Like I just go for another combat boost. If he just by then it would be too late. Like if I get 2 combat boosts, so it's already too late. Char Y can't beat me. Rotom can barely break the sub, and at that point I just protect, scout out what Rotom's gonna lock himself into, while getting like leftovers recovery. And the sub doesn't like Mamoswine's sub Ice Crash doesn't break the sub, so unless he crits me multiple times. Um, and at that point, and even Clefable's like super low, so it can't take advantage of being unaware. So, and it's already very low HP, so and with Surf doing a lot of damage, it's gonna knock it out. So basically, you only have Char Y, and even Char Y takes like a significant chunk to it. So, and I could pretty much stall out the Sun with Sub Protect. So, yeah, and by then it's pretty much the goal is just to weaken his team enough to where like Scizor, Coco, just win, you know. So it would have been a close one, but that's pretty much what would have happened. Like if we played it out, I think the only way he wins is if he just automatically switches out to like Rotom, and then like from there it's or Chart Y, but it's a weird game from there because it comes down to a lot of 50-50s and what his movesets are for his team. So yeah, that's the battle, and I'm pretty much already done explaining what happened. So I mean, hacks happens. It's unfortunate, but in these times, I would just take those games. So, or just take those victories. So, next battle we're up against Slick. So hopefully we have interesting games there. So, anyways, I'll see you guys next time. So, peace.